Hi there, my name's Stephen. Yes, so I have some koi fish which I keep in a pond in my garden. I have an aquarium upstairs. I have some Oscar fish, and I also have a plecostomus fish and a peacock cichlid. And so my koi fish, I would probably guess the other ones I've had for around 2 years, and some of the other ones I would probably say for about 3. The fish tank, I think I would probably say I've had for about 2 years. Yes, as a child, I had a fish tank at my parents' house. My dad had one at his workplace. I had some tinfoil fish, some Oscars, and some large plecostomus fish and other cichlids. So having pets as a child, I think taught me responsibilities, having to look after things. So I, on a regular basis, have to change the water once a week, to look after the fish. You have to feed the fish on a daily basis. Some of the fish, not so much, but some of the fish, depending on the time of the year, sometimes more than once, sometimes twice a day. You can't leave fish for a long time by themselves. If you do leave fish alone for say 2 weeks or more, there is a possibility of them getting ill, unfortunately dying, which has happened to me before, from me just being away on holiday for 2 weeks and no one being here to look after them. So in general, I would buy from a pet store, from the reason that when buying fish, before being sold out to the public, they are generally quarantined. This means they are kept in a separate tank before being put into the tank with your other fish, just in case your fish do have any type of disease. But the fish that I have bought, I got from a friend, Nick. What I did with these fish was I put them into a separate little tank just for a few hours, quarantined them there, and then moved them directly over into my pond and put them in with my other fish. Okay, so a simple issue with this is when people buy a pet, I will explain on the ones I have. Koi fish, you may buy food for small pellets because the fish start off small, so the price of the food is not so expensive. They will then get to medium-sized pellets as they grow bigger and larger pellets as they grow larger. But the larger pellets, of course, they cost more money, and as the fish do grow larger, of course, they eat a lot more. They will eat a lot during the summer compared to what would they eat during the winter. It costs a lot of money. But because the fish over the summer periods, you can eat so much food, yes, they eat so much of your money too. So you have to be prepared and be aware of what you're buying and taking from a pet shop or from a friend, or what you're looking after. And things such as every now and again having to do water changes on the pond, and you have to add in things such as water safe and pond safe to make sure the water which is going back in is not full of the chlorine, which is not good for the fish. I do keep the heater on most of the time of the year. This is simply because these are Japanese koi which are used to warm waters compared to what we get here in the UK. So I can't just constantly keep them in the cold water that we get here in the UK. It's not very good for them. They don't get the best of their colours when they are in cold water compared to having warm water. If they have their warm water, the good food, the nutrition and the health, that brings out their colours and increases their appetite. It will increase their size, and obviously the more they eat, the more they grow. The more they eat of the nutrition and the healthy food, the nicer the colours they come out, and obviously the prettier the fish. So in order to keep my pond clean, I have a All Pond Solution EPS 2000 filter, which I bought. What this does is, at the bottom of my pond, I have a pump. This sucks all the water out from sucking dirty water, dirty food from the bottom of the tank, because it all sinks down to the bottom. This gets sucked down through that filter, goes up through my pipe and into a large filter which I have buried in the ground. What this does, it cleans all of my water out. It goes through the device, which goes through sort of a mixture of stones and special devices to help purify the water. It then, once it's gone through that, it goes through lots of cloths and materials, which then also pull more material of dirt and poo and uneaten food and stuff out, so that when it comes out of my filter, it's then pumping clean water back into the tank. Yes, so I think my fish, my koi, they do know who I am, as there are times when I will come up to the tank and maybe feeding them. I can put food out on the edge of my hand and just gently place it into my hand, and the fish will come and take the food off of the top of my hand. Also, there's been times where I can just sit on the edge of my pond to watch them, and they're not afraid to come up to the surface. Sometimes if I just dangle my fingers, they will come up to me and they'll just nibble at my fingers just to play along. They may be thinking I'm going to drop food in or something for them, but I don't always, because I don't want to give them too much food. They are happy to come up to the surface, as long as they don't splash me too much, because they're rather big. Yes, definitely. A lot of animals are very clever and smart-witted when it comes to hunting, getting something when they have to get it. You know, I will divert back towards my koi for this. Like I've stated, for times when they come for getting food and they see me come up to the pond, they know it's me. They know what I'm going to do. So they instantly come up to me. And also, if I do leave the pond lid off for a long time and they do see a bird or something come over, sometimes they don't stay towards the surface. They'll go down, because, you know, for their own protection, they'll go down to the bottom of the water so that they can't be caught or anything like that. The other thing that's very clever, which the fish do instantly with their sight and timings of day, they are able to tell when the start and daytime is coming. Fish also do actually partially sleep as such. They don't you know, close their eyes, but you will notice times when they're just sat at the bottom, they're not moving, and they're just huddled together. It's almost like a daydream where they're sat there with their eyes open but not moving. This is just to catch their breath back before they'll swim again. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you want any more updates, I will surely bring them on, because I will in a few weeks be making a change to my pond, so look out for it.